Hey darlings, and welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, you're highly welcome. My name is Zara. I am a medical student in the University of Nigeria, and I make medical vlogs and lifestyle videos. If you're interested in the kind of content that I put out, please click the subscribe button. And if you feel like this video is too long for you to watch, definitely check out the timestamp so that you can listen to any one that interests you, okay? So loves, in this video I'm going to be giving out the basic information you need to know about medical school in Nigeria. This video is actually directed to those in high school who wish to apply for medical school after high school or when this quarantine is over. So if you are interested in that, please keep on watching. I'm not going to be talking about the grades for getting into medical school and all of that. If you want to know how to get into medical school, check out this video right here. If you want to get into medical school, when you're writing your JAM, aim at getting 260 and above, because it gives you some opportunity to get into medical school. If you can aim for 300, darling, definitely do that, okay? The medical school in Nigeria awards the MBBS degree, okay? So the degree that you're going to be studying for is the MBBS degree and not the MD degree. The MD degree is like abroad if you go to the US, and I'm also going to do a video about the difference between the MBBS certificate and the MD degree. So if you're interested in that, please do subscribe to the channel so when that video comes out you're going to be notified and you can check it out, okay? So the medical school in Nigeria awards the MBBS program. MBBS means Bachelor in Medicine and Bachelor in Surgery. The duration of the MBBS program in Nigeria is 6 years, okay, if you're applying through UTME, but if you're applying through direct entry, it's about 5 years, because you don't get to start from first year, you start from second year, so you spend 5 years in medical school. But normally majority of people in medical school apply through UTME, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. In this whole 6 years duration, you're going to cross over about 2 times to 3 different classes, okay? The first one is the pre-med, the second one is the preclinicals, and the third is the clinicals, okay? So pre-med is basically like everything you do in high school, just that it is at an advanced level. Normally abroad, when you want to apply for medical school, you have to go to a university and do pre-med for about 2 years or 4 years, depending on how long you want to do that. So you have to do that for 3 years or 4 years before you now apply into medical school. So applying into medical school again abroad is like a whole new ball game. But in Nigeria, once you get into med school, you do your pre-med in that university that you are, your preclinicals and also your clinicals. As I said before, your pre-med consists of subjects that you have done before in high school, just that it's now at an advanced level. You have physics, you have chemistry, you have biology, and GS. GS is the only thing that seems new in medical school, okay? In my school, we do not offer mathematics, so mathematics is not one of the courses that we do in pre-med. Your pre-med basically consists of your first year only. Your first year is your pre-medical year. That is when you do everything. It's like an advanced level, permit me to say that. Then moving on to second year, that is the beginning of your preclinical classes. Your preclinical classes basically consist of second year and third year. You get to cross over from your pre-med to preclinical classes when you successfully pass all your courses in first year. You move over to second year, which is the beginning of your preclinical classes. In your preclinical classes, you're doing 3 subjects also. You have anatomy, you have physiology, you have biochemistry. The preclinical classes is basically the foundation of medicine. It's where everything you're going to learn in medicine along the way is going to be laid upon. Basically, anatomy is I'm going to try and use like layman terms so that everybody can understand, because this video is actually meant for those in high school or who who want to apply into medical school. Okay, so anatomy basically is the orientation of the body, how the body is organized, what is what, where is what, and all of that. Okay, how the body is organized. Physiology is the function of the body, how the body system, the body organs, the body tissues, how they perform their function to make the body one. That is what physiology is about. Biochemistry is about the chemistry of the body. Basically how carbohydrates is being broken down, protein is being broken down to give you energy and all of that. So these are the courses that you do in your preclinical year, and you do this for second year and third year. When you're done with your preclinical class, you have to take your second MB, which is your first professional exam in medical school. Do not ask me why it's called second MB, when is the first exam in medical school. I don't know, but it's called second MB, and we have caught up with the name and it has stuck to us. They can't even if they change it now, we're still going to call it second MB. So when you're done with your preclinical classes, you write your first ever professional exam. This is at the end of your third year. You write your first professional exam, which is the second MB, which comprises of these three topics: anatomy, biochemistry, physiology. Yes. So when you write them and you successfully pass them, you get to move to clinical classes. Fourth year is the beginning of your clinical class, and when you're in fourth year, you know that you have left anatomy, you have left physiology, you have left biochemistry behind, and hopefully your foundation is strong enough to carry you through clinical classes. In fourth year, the courses that we do, pharmacology and pathology, just the two of them. But pathology has 4 sub-courses, which is hematology, chemical pathology, microbiology, and morbid anatomy. These 4 courses are very, very, very bulky. When I was in the second MD class, which was the preclinical classes, I thought that anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry were bulky. They are bulky, they are still bulky, but when you get to pathology and pharmacology, you know that this is bulky. The truth is that your workload keeps increasing the more you get to the next class. Okay, so pathology has 4 courses: hematology, chemical pathology, microbiology, and morbid anatomy. And these 4 on their own are bulky. Then combining it together, you can only imagine. But pharmacology also is quite bulky. It has to do with drugs. Okay, so in pathology is basically the body in disease state, how the body is in disease state. Pharmacology is basically about the drug, the treatment options for these diseases. So you can only imagine why they are kept together in the same class. So when you're learning about this condition, you should also learn about the treatment option. So these are the 2 things that we do in 4th year. Okay, so when you're done with 4th year, you write your second professional exam in medical school, which is called the 3rd MB. I know by now you're catching up with the names, right? Yeah, 3rd MB. So when you write your 3rd MB and you successfully pass them, you move over to 5th year, which is your second year in clinical class. Okay, when you're in 4th year, you're going to be introduced to your medicine 1 and your surgery 1. Basically, it's just an introduction to medicine and the subspecialties in medicine, the subspecialties in surgery, and you get to start your clinical postings where you start going to the hospitals, you start rotations and all of that. So when you get to 5th year, right, in 5th year you're going to be doing obstetrics and gynecology, obstetrics and gynecology, and also pediatrics and community medicine, a part of community medicine. You're going to be doing community medicine, obstetrics and gynecology, and pediatrics in 5th year. Okay, and at the end of 5th year, you get to write your 3rd professional exam in medical school, which is called, you guessed it, 4th MBBS. Then also in 5th year, you're also introduced to your medicine 2 and your surgery 2. You still go to the hospital for postings. You go for both O&G postings, pediatric postings, short postings, your surgery 2 postings, your medicine 1, your medicine 2 postings. When you pass your 4th MB successfully, you get to cross over to final year. And in final year, basically, is just medicine, surgery, community medicine again. So you're only doing medicine, surgery, and community medicine. In final year, you do your medicine 3, your surgery 3, your medicine 4, and your surgery and you go for a lot of rotations. Final year is your year, and when you successfully pass your final MB, which is the 5th MB, you are now a doctor. In few weeks, you do your induction, we come and eat rice, we come and collect your jotters. It's called word round, by the way. We come and collect your jotters and all of that, and you're happy. You now have that title attached to your name. Example, if I preach Zara Rachel, MBBS. Okay, so that is that about medical school. So now I'm going to be telling you the time frame for each. First year is about give or take, it's not up to a year, it's not up to 12 months, it's about 10 months, 10 to 11 months if I'm correct. Let's say September to like June, July. So 10 months, okay. First year is about 10 months. That is your pre-med year. Your preclinical years is about 18 months. Okay, so you use 18 months to prepare for your first professional MB. Okay, that is for your preclinical year. In your clinical year, fourth year is about 9 months. Okay, fourth year is about 9 months. Fifth year is the longest year in medical school. It's about 18 months. And final year is just about 6 to 7 months or so. So it's not such a long time, or 8 months. Yeah, 6, 7 or 8 months, depending on the state when you are in that class. For example, now I've been in fourth year for over a year. I'm supposed to be done with my exam by now. I'm being fifth year, but because of the pandemic, I am still a fourth year medical student, because medical school in Nigeria cannot operate because of certain factors. Okay, so depending on the condition of things when you're in that class, the number of years might increase, the number of years might reduce. It just depends. Okay, at the end of the day, everything sums up to 6 years in medical school, and you don't get a lot of breaks after your professional exam. The only time that you get the normal break that everybody gets is when you're crossing over, when you're done with your pre-medical years. When you're done with your pre-medical year, that's the only time we follow the school calendar. Okay, when you're done with your first year, you get to have as much break as every other person in the university is having. So if there's a 3-month break, you're having a 3-month break. Okay, in second year, you're going to have the same break as every other person, just that you might not be comfortable, because you know that in about 6 months you'll be sitting for your first professional exam. So you, by your own hand, with your own self, might decide to shorten your break, okay, and come back to school to just read and study and prepare. That is, second MB exam is one of the scariest exams in medical school. It is not the scariest exam in medical school because it is the toughest or it is the bulkiest. No, it is the scariest exam in medical school because, number one, it is the first professional exam you are writing. So this is the first time you are ever sitting for a professional exam in medical school. So it's understandable that you should be a little bit scared or paranoid about the exam, but it is not the hardest exam in medical school. No, it is just the rate limiting step in medical school. It is the fate determining step in medical school, because if you pass, you continue, you move over to clinical classes. If you do not pass, there are certain criteria for pass and fail in medical school. I'm going to do a video about that, and it's going to come out very soon. So if you want to see that video when it comes out, don't forget to click the subscribe button so you get notified when that video comes up. Okay, so yeah, there are certain criteria for pass and fail in medical school, and if you do not pass that exam in a certain way, there's a certain kind of failure that you'll be asked to withdraw from medical school. Okay, so that is what that exam basically is. It's just the rate limiting step in medical school, and it's your first professional exam. So you can understand why somebody would be scared of this exam, because this is your first time writing that exam. Okay, so as I was saying, the amount of time you have to go on vacation or holiday is not so much. It's about a week or 2 weeks, depending on how the university feels about you. If they love you too much, they can maybe give you a month, or sometimes you're going to use your own hand to take your break by yourself because you just have to rest. Okay, but the amount of time we have for like holiday is not so much, because of how much work, how much we have to learn before that 6-year duration is over. Okay, so let me talk about the exam structure in medical school. This is not an in-depth video on the exam structure in medical school. That video is going to also come up very soon. Basically, in medical school, we have ways that they structure their examination. Okay, so when you are in any class, you have your series of tests that you take before your professional exam. So these all add up to your continuous assessment. When it gets to your main professional exam, there is the MCQ section, there is the essay section, you have your practicals, and you have your viva. Okay, your MCQ question is just basically multiple choice question. You have options to choose from, and sometimes they are negative marking, meaning that if you fail one, you owe the school, the examiner, you owe them a mark. So at the end of the day, you subtract the amount of marks that you owe from the total that you got. Okay, then I really don't know why there is a negative marking system. Maybe just maybe because if you give the wrong treatment, if you give the wrong care to a patient, you can never turn back the hands of time to try and change your mind. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I'm not the examiner, so I do not know. So the essay system, the essay form of the exam is just basically writing an essay, just normal essay, okay, about whatever question you're being asked, maybe about the disease state or something. I'm not your examiner. So then the practicals is just like, depending on the course that you do, it's mostly alternative to practicals. You get to answer questions concerning the practicals, not really do the practicals, because you've been doing the practicals during that class that you're in. So you've been doing the practicals, so the exam is mostly alternative to practical, except in some situations whereby you have to do them yourself. Okay, then when you get to 5th year, what you have is like OSCE and OSCE. Okay, I'm going to leave the full meaning here. OSCE and OSCE, that's what you have in final year, because you're doing obstetrics and gynecology and pediatrics, so there's no real practical. And Viva is basically oral exam whereby an external invigilator from a different school comes to your school to like invigilate you. Sometimes they are mixed, sometimes they're from the same school. So if you're in the north, if you're schooling in the north, you can have someone from the east come to be your Viva examiner. If you are in the south, you can have somebody from the west coming to be your Viva examiner. Okay, so these are people that are not from your school, you're not familiar with them, and they come to examine you. And each of these type of exams, each of these sections of the exam have their marks depending on the course and the school that you're in. So you want to find that out when you get to that class, how much mark is given to each of these sections. Okay, so guys, this is basically all you need to know about medical school in Nigeria. This is like an in-depth basic. This is not really basic. Okay, this is like so much information at once, but yeah, these are what you need to know about medical school. I hope that you do apply to medical school, okay, and you have a good experience in medical school, and these information help you in your journey in medical school. Okay, so darlings, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video because I enjoyed filming it, and I will see you guys in my next one. I love you as always. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up, and check out my other videos. I'll see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye darling.